Hi, my name is Mackenzie.
And I'm Justin.
And today we're going to do a video where we try the top 5 UK Christmas desserts. So to start out, let's talk about what Christmas looked like for us growing up. You describe kind of like any Christmas traditions that you had. What would a Christmas Day, Christmas Eve look like in your household?
Well, typically on Christmas we just wanted to play with all our new stuff, all our new presents, play some board games that my parents always bought us. For dinner, because no one really wanted to spend all day in the kitchen on Christmas Day, we would just do a really yummy platter of cheeses that we all wanted to try, and some various meats to go along with those.
That sounds exactly like it was in my house. Of course, we were all very excited for the gifts growing up as a kid. But before we could open up any gifts, my parents would make us eat Christmas breakfast. And after we ate, we dove into the presents, and then we'd have a big Christmas dinner as well that typically consisted of a ham, green beans, mashed potatoes, and for dessert, like a pie. Okay, so how we're going to do this is I'm going to bring out the food, and then I'm going to give you the ingredients and kind of some history about the food. We're going to taste it, and then you're going to rate it on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being it was horrible, I would never eat it again, and 10 being this was the best sweet I've ever eaten in my life. You game?
Okay.
Alright, let's do it. So first up we have a Christmas cake. The Christmas cake is also known as a fruit cake, and it's not like your traditional American fruit cake that's typically like crumbly and not too good. This one's going to be a lot more moist, and it's made with rich, moist currants, sultans, which are golden raisins, and also regular raisins, and all of that has been soaked in rum. If they're covered in frosting, they're normally decorated to be very pretty. A lot of people in England make these cakes in advance, so they make them all the way up in November and let them soak in the rum or brandy or sherry or whiskey or whatever alcohol they're using to soak the cake. They poke holes in the cake and they pour in the liquid every week. This is called feeding the cake, and then at Christmas they can enjoy the cake. So let's go ahead and taste some cake. It's chewy. What would you give this on a scale of 1 to 10?
I give it a 2.
I give it like a 4. It's not that bad.
I'll take another big bite then.
I'm okay. Okay, our next dessert, sticky toffee pudding. So this is a English traditional dessert. And this is actually pretty new for England. It was developed in northwest England around the 1970s, and it is made up of like a very moist sponge cake on the bottom, and then a toffee sauce and finely chopped nuts on the top. So it's a little bit more basic dessert. It's not as complex as the Christmas cake, but it still looks delicious. Let's try some.
Way better than the Christmas cake.
I really like this. What do you think, 1 to 10?
Give it a 5.
Really?
If someone put it in front of me, I'd eat it, but
You are a harsh
I don't know
critic.
if I'd be excited.
I would give this an 8 or 9. This is really good. It's really salty, which I like, but also sweet. I like the texture that the nuts give, but the cake and the sauce make it nice and soft. Give it a 9. Alright, next dessert. Next up we have the trifle. The trifle is a layered dessert, and typically it has a layer of custard, a layer of some sort of soaked cake, typically soaked in cherry, and then a layer of fruits and jams, gelatin, jello. There's a lot of different varieties of the trifle, but this is the one I went with. And then whipped cream on top. The trifle has a lot of standing in British history. We can't place an exact date on when it came in, but the first mention of a trifle in history was in 1598. But many believe that it's been around earlier than that.
I think this has been around since 1598.
Alright, let's try it. It's not bad.
I like the flavor more than the other.
Is this your favorite so far?
Yeah, the texture throws me for a loop on this one.
Yeah, very like light, but then it melts in your mouth.
Yeah,
And then you like
tasty sludge.
So a scale of 1 to 10.
5. Like, I would never choose to eat this, but if it was there, I might dabble.
I I give this one a 7. I like the sticky toffee pudding more. But I wouldn't mind it. Like, I'd go back for a second serving of it.
Okay.
Here's our next dessert, the mince pie. So a little bit about the mince pie. This actually has a very fascinating history. It's a sweet pie. It has English origin. And what's in it is a mixture of dried fruits and spices, and those fruits and spices are called mincemeat, which gives it the name mince pie. The ingredients are supposed to represent myrrh, frankincense, and gold. So this has a lot of Christian history around it too. The shape is also supposed to represent a manger, and it's often topped with depictions of the Christ child. Let's try some. You have to take a bite. It's not my favorite.
1.
It's very, very spice heavy.
It's the myrrh.
Yeah, I'd give it a 1 as well. I wouldn't eat this again.
No. The crust isn't bad, but the
filling, the mincemeat.
coagulated spook in the middle.
Alright, and go ahead and open your eyes. Christmas pudding. What do you think? Just by look.
Pudding in America is a liquid. This is a solid.
Yes, yes. I think originally this started out as a liquid, but then over time they added breadcrumbs and eggs, which made it a little bit more solid.
Eggs?
Mm-hmm. Help solidify in baking. This is the most interesting of all the desserts to me. First of all, you'll see Christmas pudding a lot in Christmas decor. There's Christmas pudding on shirts, there's Christmas pudding ornaments. It's like a symbol of Christmas in the UK, just as much as Santa Claus or a reindeer or anything else. Basically what's in it, it's very similar to the Christmas cake that has the dried currants and raisins and sultrans. It has origins in medieval Europe and is sometimes known as plum pudding or pud.
I think it's pud. Oh, God.
It's a P-U-D.
It's pud. It's not pud. Some show to eat tonight.
This has a very fun tradition around it. So when you make it on Christmas or Christmas Eve, you stir all the ingredients together, and every member of the household takes a turn stirring the ingredients, and when it's your turn to stir, you make a wish for the year. And to cook this, you actually steam it, and so you wrap it up and you put it in boiled water, and then to serve it, you douse it in brandy and set it on fire.
Oh, wow, that's kind of
We don't have any brandy, and I didn't want to set any of the food on fire, so we're going to eat it as is. I'm seeing like a theme with the English Christmas food that's dried fruits, spices, alcohol, and bread. Yeah. Anyways, let's go ahead and try it.
It's no good.
Out of 10, what would you give it?
That's a 1. That was unpleasant.
I'd give it 2. I'd rather eat this than the mince pie, but
I don't know.
I don't think I'd eat
I
this
feel like
again.
this is what was in the mince pie.
It's just the mince pie without the pie crust, which is the only enjoyable part about the mince pie. Yeah, it's not my favorite.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright. Let's move on. Okay. So that was all the desserts. What'd you think?
Well, they weren't my favorite, but that's not to say that I'm not a fan of English food. I love the shepherd's pie.
Yeah. I really like bangers and mash.
I like those too. But on the dessert spectrum, no, that wasn't a victory for the English.
Okay, so are there any that you would eat again?
Just the trifle pudding.
You like that one?
If it was present and that's all there was to have, I'd put it on the plate.
Alright.
What about you?
I definitely go for the sticky toffee pudding again.
Oh, you did like that.
That was really good.
I like the texture and of that one more than all the others, but I don't know, I didn't like the flavor of the cake. I like the toffee part, but not the flavor of the cake.
So, what was your least favorite overall?
The last one.
The Christmas pudding?
The pud. Wasn't a fan of the pud, so probably.
Alright, well, that's it. Thanks so much for tuning into this video. And make sure to hit that like button if you like this video, and subscribe for more videos like this. And we'll see you guys next time. Have a great day.